Assalamu alaikum. My name is Ariel. I'm from Brazil. I'm 28 and I work online as a freelance translator. I come from a Christian background. My father is a deacon of the Catholic Church and my mom is also Catholic. But my family is quite mixed in terms of religion. My grandfather was a spiritualist. My father, as I said, is a deacon of the Catholic Church. I have a cousin who's a priest, an uncle who's an evangelist pastor. My brother is married to an atheist, and I'm the first Muslim of the family. I was educated in Brazil. I went to school in my home city, which is called Guaçuí. You've never heard of it. It's really small. When I went to university, I went to another place. It's called Cachoeiro de Itapemirim, in the south of a state called Espírito Santo, southeast Brazil. Yes? I didn't finish that though. I dropped out of university really young. Then I tried something else. In my city, I tried radiology. It didn't work either, so I moved on to Arabic. It didn't work. So now I'm studying online. It's a Brazilian university, but I'm doing international business. Let's see how that's gonna go. So we learn about it at school, but we only ever hear about it like in day-to-day life on television, and it's usually bad stuff. But Brazilians are not very opinionated about it because, like again, it doesn't change their lives in any way. So I was just a regular Brazilian. I didn't think much of it. But when I became a teenager, I was on the internet making friends with people from different countries. And a lot of these people happened to be Muslim. Again, I didn't care that they were Muslim. We were just friends. So time went by and I started to notice that they would take the religion very seriously. So of course, this left a good impression. Sometimes you were talking and I see they would take like prayer breaks. Sometimes you were talking and they had to talk to the parents. The parents were calling them and they would take a break to talk to them. Sometimes you were talking and they had a friend over really late in the evening, you see. So I noticed that the connections that they had with their family and their friends was a lot stronger than the one that we have in my country. But up until then, it was just friendship. It was not something religious. One day, on the same website, I met a guy from Saudi Arabia. Right from the beginning, he started like speaking about religion. I was not very comfortable because this is something very personal in Brazil. It's not something that we talk about unless it's with a person that we are really, really close to. So when he started like speaking about it, I felt like he was one of those Jehovah's Witnesses that he was trying to convert me. I didn't want to be rude and hang up the phone, so I kept listening, hoping that he would just stop at one point, but he didn't. And at the end of the conversation, he asked me if I wanted to be Muslim. I was taken aback. I didn't know what to say. So I tried to change the subject a little. It didn't work. He kept pressing me. So at the end of it, I was like, you know what, I'm just going to do this to make him happy, but I'll look into it later. I was not that religious. Again, when I became a teenager, I was looking for different things. I was not happy with Catholicism, so I tried a few different things, but then they didn't work, as I said, and then I saw this guy speaking about Islam. It piqued my interest, but I wasn't quite ready to convert. I just took the Shahada to make him happy. After he did this, he sent me some books from Saudi Arabia to Brazil as a gift, Islamic books. I went through them and then I noticed that they made more sense than Christianity. So little by little, I started to change myself. I felt like it was something that I could go with. But again, it wasn't something that I was close to enough to go ahead and study about. So when this guy started speaking to me about Islam, I felt like I could look into it. It's something that I was curious about. I read the Quran in English. I will admit that some parts made me feel very uncomfortable, especially the ones that would speak about Jesus, like he's nothing but a messenger. that was very hard for me, you see. But again, I try to keep an open mind and just keep going, yeah. So the more I learned about Islam, the more I saw that it made sense. So I didn't want to feel overwhelmed. So like I said, I did it little by little. One day I would do one tiny thing, the other day something else, the other day something else. and so on and so forth. Until I came to a point where I felt like I could go out in public as a Muslim. So I opened a YouTube channel where I would share my experience in Brazil as a Muslim. Again, you don't have a lot of Muslims there. So it was something interesting to them. And then time went by. I started to feel lonely because in my city I was the only one. So some of these friends that I had met on the internet invited me to Egypt to spend Ramadan with them. So I took them up on the offer. I went there. It was supposed to be a 3-month trip only, but it became something else. So I went there, and when I got there, I felt like my soul was Egyptian. I didn't want to go back home. So I ended up staying with them for 1.5 years. I got an online job at a Dawah center. So I started like working in Dawah with the Portuguese language. And then again, I started like giving Dawah, and then a lot of questions would come up and I didn't know how to answer them. So they pushed me to study more about the religion. And the more I did this and the more friends I made, the more home I felt. In Islam, it's just basically you and God. There is nothing between. So this made me feel really comfortable. In Brazil, there are a lot of people who become atheists because they are fed up with the church. Like, they ask you for so much money and they play with your emotions. It's not something that they base on facts. They pick and choose a few parts of the Bible and they go with them. And if you bring up anything else that they don't like, they say that it's from the past and that now we're in the 21st century and that we don't have to follow that anymore. And if you have any questions, they might even get angry. So in Islam, I noticed that people, like, when you ask them something and they don't know, they just tell you, look, I don't know, let's learn together. So I felt like it was something more sincere. And the charity that you give in Islam, it's something that you give directly to a poor person. You don't give it to the imam, you don't give it to the mosque, you don't give it to anyone from the clergy. You don't even have a clergy in Islam. You have the imam and you have the sheikh. Sometimes you have these muftis. I think they studied more than the sheikh. I don't really know like the difference in detail, but it's very different. So I felt like the relationship with God was more direct. Yes. So I kept pushing forward, and fast forward a couple of years, I'm here. Of course, I repeated the Shahada many times over. You do this every time you pray in Islam. But if you want to get more specific, I did it again in Egypt, in the Al-Azhar University. My friends told me that I needed a Shahada certificate if I ever wanted to go to Mecca. So getting one from Al-Azhar I felt was something nice since I was already there. So I went there. It didn't go as well as I thought it would. I had a longer beard back then, so when I came there, it was awkward, but at the end of the day, they did give me the certificate. So from then on, it was official. Now I have a document with like stamps and all of that. As far as my family's reaction goes, I thought that my father was going to be the hard one to deal with because, again, he's a member of the clergy, and that my mom was going to be the open-minded one, but it was actually the opposite. My father came up to me and he told me that when I was little, that he taught me what he thinks is right, and that now I'm a grown-up man and that I can just go ahead and do what I want with my life. But with my mom, it was a scandal. She wasn't happy at all about it. Yes, her family comes from France and Portugal. Again, she didn't know anything good about Islam, I think. So she was maybe like scared. I understand her in a way because as a mother, you want to protect your child. Yes, your son. But she was not open-minded, as I said. It was a scandal. She was upset. We had a lot of arguments because of this. But she did come around and she understood that it's not what she thought it was. Especially after I moved out of Brazil, I would take a lot of pictures and send them to her. I would take videos. I would let her talk to my friends. One day, she basically apologized and she was like, I was so wrong. She had even cursed my friends on the internet. She was like, you guys are brainwashing my son. But then she went up to them again and she was like, look, if you ever come to Brazil, the doors of my house are open to you. Like, you can come and stay with us. So in the beginning, it was not nice. But now, even though she's not Muslim, It's a lot better. There's no comparison. She accepts me now. When I took the Shahada, my friends told me that I have to pray in Arabic, and I didn't know that in the beginning. I was just shocked. Like, how do you expect me to pray in Arabic? It's just like this alien language. It's like you're asking me to pray in Chinese, Japanese. I can't do this. So with the first gift that they sent me, there was this prayer booklet that was supposed to teach you how to pray. But there were a lot of Arabic words there that I didn't understand, like do the rukur, do the shahad, the sujud, do the taslim. And I'm like, I don't know what these things are. Yeah? Plus the Arabic text itself. One, I didn't understand it, and two, I didn't even know how to pronounce it. So it was not easy to me. I kept postponing it and just trying again, like those tiny bits of the religion first. But then Ramadan came, and I learned that in Ramadan, your hasanat, your rewards, they are multiplied. And then I'm like, oh my God, I will fast, inshallah, God willing, but I don't know how to pray yet. So there was nobody to teach me, basically. I went online and I found this YouTube channel that teaches you how to pray, like little by little, syllable by syllable. They like when they are teaching you how to recite Surah Al-Fatiha, they don't just give you the whole thing at once. They go Bismillah, Bismillah, Bismillah. They go like this. So I tried the videos. They have a playlist, and in 1 week I was able to memorize all of it. And again, from then on, I started to pray every day. When I became Muslim, changing my name is not something that was on my mind. I never thought that was going to happen. I was just Ariel, and that was me. But again, there were no Muslims in my city, so obviously every single Muslim that I was meeting at that time had to be on the internet. I remember being on Facebook just trying to befriend every single Muslim that I found on the way, yeah? And then I remember being asked if I was Jewish. Ariel, apparently, is a Jewish name. In Brazil, you don't give you don't give two hoots about this, yes? But in the Muslim world, people, they do care about your name. So I would try to talk to people and they were like, are you Jewish? And then I'm like, no. And then again, are you Jewish? No. Are you Jewish? No. I'm not saying anything bad about Jewish people. What I'm saying is the reaction was not good from that side, yes? So I felt a little upset, and then I'm like, I want to blend in more. I don't want someone to question my Islam. So one of the easiest ways to do this, I felt, was going to be like changing my name, trying to choose a Muslim name, yes? This is not something that's obligatory in Islam unless your name is pagan. But again, mine wasn't, and I wanted to do this. So I wanted something that was not like Muhammad or Ahmed, for example, because these are very popular already. I wanted something that when people said, they would remember my face. Yes? So one day I was talking to a friend from Algeria, and I told him, look, I want a Muslim name. Can you help me with that? But please, unique. I want something that, again, people are going to remember me for. Then he said, why don't you go with Abdul Majid? And then I'm like, what does that mean? And he said, well, it's servant of the most glorious. Then I thought for a while, and then I'm like, okay, from now on, it's Abdul Majid. Let's do this then. My first Ramadan was not easy. I have to tell you that. Because when Ramadan came, I think I hadn't told people yet that I was Muslim. I was hiding it from them. So in Brazil, when it's time for lunch, we're supposed to eat together. I was not coming to the table anymore, and then my family was asking me, why you're not eating with us? And then I'm like, oh my God, what am I gonna say? Today I'll eat later. I'll wait a little, Mom. I'm not gonna eat anything now. But why? The food is on the table, like it's ready. Why don't you come now? Like what's happening to you? And I'm like, I'll just eat later. Then the next day came, and then it was the same thing. And it's just like, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, Mom, I'm trying to change my diet now, okay? So let's do this later. Again, as a new Muslim, being where I was, everybody was eating in front of me. It was really not easy. And me having to hide it was even harder, yes? But as time went by, I just got used to it. These days, I will say that I feel very miserable when I'm fasting because I'm addicted to sugar. When I can't eat it, I can't think of anything else. But Ramadan brings this special vibe. People, they become more generous, everybody's happier, they become more religious, you go to the mosque, you pray Tarawih. It's a feeling that you miss when it goes away, yes? So I have a lot of special memories. My first Ramadan was after 6 years of me being Muslim. It was in Egypt, the first one that I spent in a community. And it was amazing. That was the first time in my life that I was sharing an iftar with brothers. That was the first time in my life that I was praying Tarawih. That was the first time in my life that I was seeing like a Muslim community in front of me. So coming to Turkey, when I came here, it was Corona time, so I didn't get to experience that a lot. But last year, I was already in the center. So I got to share it with the brothers. Like, it was really, really nice. Well, the Quran is a guide for humanity. Like, it's really important, obviously. It teaches you right from wrong. I didn't know how to read it in the beginning because of the Arabic, like the language barrier, yes? But then I found a website called Bayana TV. Then there is like the teacher is called Noman Ali Khan. He's really famous in the English world. Yes, he's got like this Pakistani background, but he grew up in America. So he's really famous. He has this website where he teaches Arabic to people like me who don't have any like background in the language. Yes, so I learned how to read Quran with him as well, and then I read through the whole thing, once in English, once in Arabic. These days, I've been slacking off a little, but I'm planning to pick up where I left off, inshallah. And Ramadan is coming. That's a good opportunity to do this, inshallah. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, is someone that I didn't know before. I had to learn how to love him. I grew up focusing on Jesus, so obviously Muhammad was like new to me. But the more I learned about him, the more I realized that he was not the bad person that the media tries to portray sometimes, you see? So everything that he did has a reason behind it. So if you do not study Islam and if you do not try to understand it, you'll be biased, especially when you don't know like anything about the religion. You're just listening to people who are just as ignorant as you see? So to me, he's a very special person. He's the last prophet, peace be upon him. And he's my teacher. So I'm not a perfect human being. I don't do everything that he was doing, but I'm trying as much as I can to follow him. I hope that I'll be able to become a better Muslim, inshallah. Well, my advice to the Muslim community here, not just here, like in general, would be to cherish what you have in front of you, you see? I know that growing up as a Muslim, you don't see it the same way as converts do, but you have something very special, which is a Muslim community. You have people to encourage you. You have easy access to teachers, to the shuyukh, and to all of that. I'm dying to settle down in a Muslim community, and I have all of these visa barriers in front of me. I don't know if I'll be able to stay here. I wasn't able to stay in Egypt. I'm just trying to find a place where I can live my life as a Muslim with no obstacles in between. So you have it easy. Just give it a go. If you feel like you are far away from Islam, just go to a mosque. Try to make friends from that, like from that environment, and inshallah, good things will come your way. Just, again, cherish what you have. It's something special. Not everybody has it. In my country, we don't have a lot of Muslims, as I said, and the few ones that we do have, they would give almost everything to have this. So don't give up.